Hey lovelies, I thought I would get on today to talk about a few things. I hope you're doing really well. I'm just going to wait to see if some people join us. They may or they may not. I'm about to go to lunch, but I've wanted to just have a heart-to-heart here, as I do. I'm going to wait to see if a few more people join us. I put on some oils. I'm going to go to the lunch. I have one more meeting and then I get to finish early today, which is wonderful. Okay, let us see if some people join us. So I've been doing a lot of calls today. Some people have joined High-End Empire, some of them with my no pitch sessions that I offered during my webinar. Hey Miriam, we've just met. Lovely to meet you. You're my first person. So I was just saying that I was doing some sessions, free sessions today. I offered some no pitch consults on my webinar that I did a few weeks ago about how to break free from your money karma drama to sell high end. I've met a lot of lovely women. And the pattern and the struggle is very, very, very similar from woman to woman, and I wanted to address it a little bit today. And a lot of it stems from a few different things, but one is these women, they know that the work that they're doing right now, hey gorgeous, lovely to meet you too, really isn't in alignment with their true passion and their true calling. So, hey gorgeous, so they're sitting there feeling quite uncomfortable. They know a shift is coming. They definitely want to make the shift, but they are starting to tune into a different level of frequency, a different level of desire, and there's a little bit of inner turmoil going on. A lot of it is, can I actually, hey Stena gorgeous, we had a great chat. A lot of it is, can I actually make money out of this? Especially the women that are channels. I keep it, hey gorgeous Lily, hey Stena. I keep attracting, hey beautiful, a lot of women that are highly intuitive. They are channels, they are mystics, they are healers, and hey Kay-Ann, and they may not have really fully owned that yet, right? So there's a little bit of this turmoil going on, like releasing the old, saying no to that to really welcome in the new clients, the new downloads, the new offers, programs, and business strategy, right? So in order to do that, yeah, Stena, we had a beautiful chat. Stena is highly talented high priestess, and she needs to own that like full on. I think she's getting it really deeply. So it's going to be beautiful to see what you create, Stena. You're an amazing person. It was such a beautiful gift to talk to you. So right now, if you're a bit in anguish or you're kind of like conflicted, it's usually the ego fighting with the soul, right? The soul knows, the soul knows the way, but if we're not truly owning it and trusting it, we will be in that chaos, right? The dance between, it's not even really a dance, it's sort of some sort of passionate, kind of crazy dance that we don't really need to be in. We don't need to be in it, we will not be in it when we decide to claim our inherent power. Oh, best divine diva kick-ass ever. Yeah, absolutely. So playing small and denying and sitting there, you know, can I make money out of this? Am I really talented? Do I have what it takes? I'm getting all this divine insight, but I'll just crush it down a little bit. You know, I'll just hold it down because I'm not fully owning it. I'm not going to fully believe it. And you know what? It scares the shit out of me. So why don't I just pretend that I'm not really powerful? And, you know, I'll kind of just sort of stay under the radar. And all that does is, as you all know, I'm not telling you anything that you don't know, is it becomes a very constricting, very intense, it's just constrictive. You can feel it in your heart. Like just tap in right now, you can feel it if you're not truly owning a power. So in order for us to really monetize and do the work that we're called to do, if you really want your ideal client to show up, it starts with us. It starts with us showing up and really owning who we are. A lot of women, I don't feel, can even claim that they're intuitive, that they're channels, that they're mystics, that they're mediums. You know, I do also work with business strategists. I work with Facebook ad managers. Really, at the end of the day, it's all those women that I attract are really intuitive. They work from a deeply connected vibe when they start to really make money in their businesses, and they're really beginning to own their power. So when you are, hey Sarah and Lizzie, I know that Lizzie and a few other women have been rocked by a few emotions. I know that a lot of women are feeling that at the moment. Yes, we had Mercury retrograde, but I think it's also just the divine feminine wanting to really rise. We can't play small anymore. We can't stuff it down any longer. I think that's a kind of, it's what I'm going through as well. It's just like really owning it. Today I was a little bit feisty because I've become more and more clear around who I want to work with, and I've noticed a real difference between people who sort of stay in the sidelines and kind of stay small, and those that say, you know what, okay, I am scared, but I'm just going to go forward. I'm not going to put a lid on it anymore. I'm just going to go forward and trust this. You have to start really owning and trusting it. And what happens is when you say yes to yourself, like, okay, I get it. I'm not going to play small anymore. I'm fully owning it. I am the channel. I am the vixen. I am the diva. I am the business strategist, and I'm fully going to claim that for myself. The doors open. You shift your energy. You shift your framework. And really, if you are just like a vessel, like a human form, and you're channeling and bringing this content down into the world and unleashing it, you as your human form, as a woman having this human spirit, I was saying to Steno that you have to be so, and I have a few clients in my, who I work with privately who are channels, and we are all channels really. We're all, as long as we're really connected to ourselves, we can channel that divine inspiration and insight at all times. We have to really honor ourselves and really release as much junk in our trunk as we possibly can, because otherwise we won't have the sacred container to hold those new clients. Like, we have to be able to release the BS that's no longer serving us anymore. So I asked a question today with a few of the women, like, what is it going to take for you to truly begin to really own your beauty, your power, your talent? How much longer are you going to wait? How much longer are you going to stuff it down? You know, because we all know that that just leads to this sort of poisonous kind of toxic kind of feeling. We begin to really just, become really squashed down by it. So how much more therapy do we need? How much more healing do we need? Can we have instantaneous healing? I believe it. I believe we can when we connect to our higher selves, when we connect to Creator, and we make a clear decision that we will no longer be paralyzed or condemned by the past. We've all had challenges, we've all had trauma, and I have a deep passion for, I have a deep compassion for understanding that. We've all had loss, there's been chronic illness, death, abuse, I get all of that, been there myself, but we have to kind of get to a point where we can in some way have peace with that and work through it. So I cannot recommend getting more emotional support if you need it, because no amount of business strategy or funnels or marketing or messaging is going to really work until we can really come from a place of deep aligned power. I truly believe that. There's so many people, you know, they get up and do live streams. I was speaking to a girlfriend that I went to and had lunch with yesterday, and she's saying, oh, there's this woman, and you know, she's tries so hard, but she's got so much rage and so much going on with her that no one watches her live streams. Like, she gets no comments, there's just nothing. And we're talking about how interesting that is. And really a lot of it is about energy. You know, are you prepared to be vulnerable? Are you prepared to speak from the heart? Have you worked through enough stuff that you can truly show up with not too much? Like, well, we're always healing, we're always up leveling. Gosh, I'm sure I've got still truckloads of stuff to work through. But what I am doing, and I have been able to do, is I've done quite a lot of work on myself that I'm able to show up in a way that I feel shows who I am, whether people like it or not. I'm not hiding behind anything anymore. I'm not pretending to be something that I'm not. I'm not hoping desperately for people to like me. I'm just over that shit. If people like me, they like me. They want to invest to work with me, they invest to work with me. If they don't, they don't. And so even in my sales calls, like, it's the same kind of strategy. I'm prepared to lose the sale because I'd rather be more in my power, honoring my voice, being truthful to who I am. If I get a download, I share it. If I'm having a funky day and I'm vulnerable and I cry, I'm going to share it. I'm not going to censor myself wondering whether people are going to get it or like me, because every single person that jives with me, like, just the way that they respond is like they fully, hey Amber, they fully get it. They are my ideal dream clients. The people, and so I'm sharing this with you because it's the same for you. When you are truthful and honest and really owning who you are, and you've decided, you know what, fuck it, I'm done with playing small, I'm going to be truthful, those people will gravitate to you. Those people will start to buy from you. Those people will begin to just go, oh my God, where have you been all my life? They're going to, people are just searching for someone like you to show up, but you're not going to show up in the way that they need you to by being small or worrying about what they think. I wrote some really good titles with some really fun titles with Stena on there for her videos, and it's like, you can all do this now. Like, and I spoke to Shauna, who's on here, and we were writing up some new titles that were really kind of provocative and a little bit out there, and they are going to be polarizing. People are either going to love it or they're not going to love it so much. But you know what? We can download right now, and this is what I do. Hey, Amber. I really just claim and ask Creator and the Divine to send me clients who really understand and can appreciate how I work, how I teach, so they can absorb what I'm saying on a deep, deep level. And so I don't really usually have too much, I don't really have too many haters, I don't have too much negativity. I've made a conscious decision that I won't drag people like horses to water. I was speaking today to a few of the girls saying, you need to speak to people that are quite, you know, they may be struggling, they may be really, obviously they're going to have a problem that they need solved, but there's a level of awareness, the number one, that they need support, they invest in themselves, they get support. They can't be sitting there, you can't be talking to someone who is so fearful that they're not sort of kind of beginning to really wake up. And you need to speak to people that are willing to take personal responsibility for their lives. So in all your messaging and in everything that you do, you need to be making sure that you're really, really clear about that core attribute that your ideal client needs to have. No one is going to invest in anything that I'm selling unless they are really willing to take responsibility. They have an awareness that they need support. They're willing to invest in themselves, and really that's going to be probably, well, it will be exactly the same for you. So make sure that you put that down all in your messaging. A really great way to get clear on who your ideal client is just to really tune in, sit there and imagine really how you want to feel with your clients when you're working with them as a private client or within a group, what type of actions you'd like them to take, what is their energy like, what is their frequency like, and write down even 10 to 20 kind of core attributes that you want that client to have, and really own that for yourself. So I think today, with a few sort of things that I've had happen with me in my business, I am only meant to work with women who have a pretty high frequency already. Doesn't mean that they don't need healing. We all need healing. We're all sort of rising up. We all have to work through our stuff, but there's a level and a vibration of really, they're already beginning to they're starting to really claim and get an inkling of just how powerful they are, and they will not allow anyone to stop them any longer. I have someone on here, I won't mention who she is, who's a private client of mine, and she is just amazing and doing amazing things. And she said to me the other day via text, oh my God, Ingrid, I'm going to have the best month ever. We need to start talking and thinking with that vibration and that language, and you can shift and have a divine healing incredibly quickly, as I said before, as long as you make that decision and you say, okay, I'm gonna really put this to bed, and I'm gonna really shine my light, and I'm gonna serve from my highest, and I will no longer hide myself for one day longer. And that's what I did. And it was really when I was just so fed up and over my own bullshit that I was like, well, this is a joke. I'm going to try something completely different. I'm going to start honoring myself instead of denying myself. I've had 2 clients say to me, I said, what about doing video? What about getting out there more and really speaking a truth? And 2 of them turned around and said, oh, I'm too fat. I've put on 10 kilos. And I just sort of sit there and I look at them and I'm like, right. So what does weight have to do with anything in terms of your success? It's just another excuse. Like, that's another bullshit excuse. It's like, really? Are we really at this time going to hold ourselves back? Haven't we been in war with our body? Like, to me, it's like, really? Can you just drop that? What is it going to take to drop it? I mean, I have scars over my body. I've had a cesarean. I had a near-life death experience. So I was cut open. I hemorrhaged during an operation. I have cellulite. I have this. I have all these things that I could say that were wrong with myself. And if I lived in that vibration, I would not be doing any of the work that I am called to do. I'd be broke and I'd be depressed. So I'm sorry that I'm having an intense chat, but let's just get real here. I've also done, I think I was thinking about all the work that I've done on myself. I continuously invest in myself. I have a kinesiologist on speed dial. I have my own spiritual guides when I need it. I'm constantly reevaluating what works for me and what doesn't. Like the other day when I was having tears, I was like, well, I've done quite well financially. I feel like a bit out of alignment. I feel like I'm pushing a bit too much. I had tears. Some people responded so well to that and they were so beautiful. Some people went into there, I'm worried about that I'm gonna have to work so hard to make money. And I'm like, oh my God, that's not what I was saying. I've launched a cheaper program so that people can afford to work with me who wouldn't usually maybe have afforded it. And as I'm, bringing in so much new business with my private clients and doing a launch, I've decided that I'm gonna close the doors in 2 weeks' time. But really, my CEO Diva Business School is a highly successful, multi-6-figure business, and it only really takes me 10 hours a week to manage, unless I'm really trying to do a bit more marketing to bring in more clients. But really the operations of it and the actual coaching time doesn't take me that long. So I think I have demonstrated that you can have a highly successful business. The other thing that without having to drive yourself into the ground or work 24/7. The other thing that came up in some of the conversations that I know that I've had to think about and really work on for myself, and even this week a little bit, I saw a little bit of a old pattern come up a little bit, but we don't have to I think there's an old conditioning that so many of us have, and that's I have to almost bleed or suffer to make good money. So sit with that for a second and see if that's something that might resonate with you in terms of having that belief. It's not actually true. We have so much poverty conscious around us, and we don't have to suffer or work so hard in order to make great money. I think we have to, don't undervalue also the healing powers that you have when you hold a vibration. Hey, stand up for somebody. It's like, even just in me showing up for my group or people starting to work with me, they when they say yes, they immediately start to up level, sell more, start to attract the most amazing things in their lives. And what have I really, sometimes I haven't even had calls with them yet, and we maybe messaged a bit, and there's a bit of there's a lot of issue. One of my clients manifested someone very high end. I can't really talk about it. I'm sworn to secrecy, but just say they're a very big figure, and we haven't even had a chat yet. And I'm not trying to say anything that's so magical about me. I'm talking about holding frequency and just sending someone love and shining light on them, and the shifts that begin to come. And really, when I trust that and trust how powerful that can be for a client, I don't have to work so hard. These amazing shifts and miracles happen. Of course, yes, I do the work, and I help people write copy and help them own their brand, and I own their messaging, and I help them create pricing structures and all of that, of course. But really, there's so much power in just showing up and holding space and seeing someone for who they are and guiding them to really own that themselves. So loving them until they truly love themselves, I think, is one of the biggest gifts that we can give to people. I don't know if any of you guys agree with that, but so I just wanted to check in and say, you know, and ask you, I'm just going to ask you one more question. What is it going to take for you to really, truly just own how awesome you are? You know? And if you really owned how awesome you are, hi Charlotte, gorgeous. I mean, you're gorgeous, Charlotte. Everyone here is gorgeous. If you really, truly owned how awesome you are, how would you be showing up? What would you be, you know, what would you be sharing on video? What would you be creating? What program would you be releasing into the world? I love all the love, Stena. You had a breakthrough today, which I'm so happy about. You're just such a gorgeous goddess. And I think the other thing is that was brought up today is that can you actually make money? Hey Miriam, are you ready to really own it? Maybe you already did own it totally, I'm not sure. But I think we can all, myself included, own it more and more. You know, we can always up the ante on our self-love. But I think we need to, I don't think that we can carry the growth of our businesses if we don't start from a pretty solid bedrock of ownership of our own power, of our inherent power. So yeah, what will it really take, and who would you have to be? How would you be showing up? How would you feel in your body if you just knew in this moment that you were completely whole, that you don't have to fix any relationships, you don't have to be a better person, you don't have to give anymore, that you are truly just enough. You're enough, you're enough, you're enough. Does that make sense? I think I need a royal priestess cape. I would love it. Why don't you create one? Aren't you good at that? You're good at sewing. You can design. Please draw up a picture and create one. Maybe you should sell some of those, Stena. I'll buy one. Can I have one in hot pink, please? Okay, guys. So yeah, I really believe that we've come to a point in life where we're all being called to just start really owning it and serving and shining our light and letting the story go. Yeah, make those, please. You just make a fortune. Oh my God. Priestess capes, bring it on. That could be a $1 million business, baby, just in that one thing. Make sure that it's in alignment. The other thing that I wanted to say before I go is the idea that if you're really, you work from a spiritual level and that's sort of what you're really teaching, that it's not a tangible thing or something. It's like, it's kind of like you can't really put a value on it, but you can absolutely put a value on it. Yeah, Stena, we had, Stena, Charlotte, we had an amazing chat today. The other thing sorry I'm a bit all over the place, I'm tired today and I'm going to close off my day, but it's been an interesting day today, the last few days, oh my God. Talk about an up level and wake up call for myself, but I can't even remember the other thing I was going to say. I can't remember. So that may maybe be a sign that I need to go and rest and take care of myself and tune off. I am going to make my launch even shorter. I've taken another 2 weeks off it. I've decided those who want to join will join and those who don't, and that's all fine. And I'm going to go to the beach and hang out and play with my daughter and yeah, something about being tangible. I know I talked about that. It's like, I think we can absolutely make a fortune on also really doing the stuff that lights us up. Like, don't create a program or a product that you think you should or completely like matches your, like, really think about what is the core message. So if it's something's not in alignment and you've even worked on it for quite a while, I was saying to someone today that it could maybe become like part of the curriculum, but it's not your core message. So say in the past I had a body image stuff and I've written a book about it, like it's not in alignment with me anymore to teach that. I know that back to front. So it's still about the divine feminine. I brought the divine feminine into my work. Is it important to really live a nourished lifestyle and be fulfilled and really honor your body and work from the really make sure that you're working from a place of deep nourishment. I've brought that in, all the things from Body Love when I used to work really as a body image coach, all those healing modalities that I've come up with are not wasted. I sometimes give my book to different clients, and there's a lot of beautiful, powerful work in there. I've got this beautiful meditation called the Warm Love, Pink Love visualization, and I'm about to pop it up on High End Empire for the girls who've bought my program. It's a really beautiful, beautiful, juicy meditation. So it's still part of my work, but it's not my core focus because it's not in alignment with really where I want to go anymore. So really make sure that anything that you're launching, anything that you're teaching, really feels good to you, even if it doesn't completely make sense for you or if it's a change in direction. Because otherwise you just won't have fun and you'll end up sabotaging yourself, and you'll have to change it at some point. Everything that we do really has to be soul aligned for us to be able to really serve at that level, because we won't be bringing our best to the table and they'll end up eroding our energy. Okay, gorgeous. Going to bed with high vibrations. Have a good sleep, Melissa. I'll speak to you soon. And you're amazing, and I love your work and everything that you've been doing. And yeah, all the clients that I have at the moment that I really love, they teach me so much. I get to learn from this deep sense of joy with them. Like, they give me energy. Like, even when they have struggles, and we all have challenges, we all have fear, we all have those wobbly moments from time to time. But my ideal dream client, she learns so fast and she moves through it quite quickly. And everyone does move at a different place. I have a lot of understanding of that, but the people that I tend to do really well with and that I really enjoy working with, I'm going to be honest, they move very fast. Like, sometimes I'm typing with them like on Messenger or something, and they're like, oh my God, Ingrid, I've got it. They are very conscious. They're very aware, and they take this action and they embody what I'm saying. It's almost like the moment I type the words, it's already going into their body and into their soul. It's really quite quick and easy. So that's the kind of people. I think this week, from anything that I've noticed with conversations from people and people that I've talked to, yeah, I'm not the best with people that don't move through their stuff and that aren't willing to invest in other outside support emotionally if they need it to rise up. Because if you don't have that emotional IQ, resilience, fortitude, it's just very, very hard to implement what I say to do. Like, you just can't really implement the actions needed. So if you're struggling at all right now, you must, if I can give you any advice, honestly, you must do that emotional work on yourself and release the stuff that you maybe haven't completely dealt with. And don't damn yourself for that. You know, it can take time, and we have to be gentle with that process. But I am probably not the best person. Like, I can be compassionate, you've probably seen, and I want to be there from a loving point of view, but I'm very much, okay, let's go. Let's actually do the work. Let's show up. Let's take the action. Let's move past the fear and do it anyway. Do it scared. Let's go. I'm not very good at holding space for long periods of time with people who are kind of stuck in their old story. I can't do it. It literally doesn't feel good to me at all energetically. So I suppose where I'm at right now is I've decided to own that really, really deeply. I have a lovely lady who's going to be working with me starting in a few weeks, and she's been really honest with herself, and she's shared with me that, I'm struggling a little bit with this stuff I thought that I dealt with, and it's come up to bite me on the ass. And so I referred her to somebody, and she's going to be working with her for about a month before she even starts to work with me, so that there is a deeper level of love and ownership of who she is, and there's more of a clear channel for her to just start integrating and start doing the work that she's called to do. We're not going to be stuck in the I really can't do it, I don't know, and kind of the freak out zone. It's best for people to go and do that work before they come to work with me. if they have extra freakouts along the way, that's okay. That's part of it. I had one the other day where I was just like, ah, but I moved through it quite quickly because I've learned how to hold sacred space for myself. I'm not scared of my emotion. I'm not scared of being exhausted, tired, and needing to ground myself, go within, stop, be still. If I cry, I'm not scared of crying and grieving or having a bit of a, some people might see it as a meltdown. Really, it was me processing and having a healing. Years ago, I would have had a panic attack around that kind of stuff. That's not where I'm at anymore. I can really hold space for myself and I don't feel embarrassed about it. I don't feel like I'm a failure. I feel that I'm just being honest and I'm human and I'm going to have these emotions come up and I can work through them and hold sacred space for myself as I feel them. Hey Chantelle, we had a beautiful lunch yesterday, didn't we? Chantelle is an amazing woman. She's a doTERRA leader and she does incredibly well, but she's also an activist and has created this amazing business around helping other women who want to do incredible things around the world, helping the community and really forging forward and doing epic work and using their capital from their doTERRA business to create radical change in the world. So she's incredible, and we were like two long lost soul sisters talking yesterday, and Chantelle did a really beautiful thing. For me, about a month or two ago, I had a chronic ear infection. I was a wreck. And Chantelle had never met me before, and she lives in my town and just very close by. And she decided to come, and I was in my pajamas. She arrived, said, I'm coming to your house with a package. And she came with all these oils, and she didn't try to sell me and recruit me to become a doTERRA person, which is totally fine and a wonderful business, and I love doTERRA, but she just came with love and showed up for me in such a beautiful, beautiful way. And ever since that time, I've had a lot more gorgeous, amazing connections with heart-centered women who can really hold space for each other, where we don't have to dim our light because the other girlfriend feels threatened by the other girlfriend and all that bullshit. So I think Chantelle, you set that off at a deeper level for me because I've met so many incredible new girlfriends since that time. So thank you so much. It was a beautiful beautiful gesture that you made. And Steph, hey gorgeous, I had a beautiful call with Steph. She's in High End Empire with me. Oh Stena, yeah, definitely. I've had to go through my own healing with all of that, and not, you know what the biggest fear was that I had when I went to do my webinar? It wasn't, there was a bit of a fear that I'd fuck up all the technology part, like my PowerPoint and my this and my that. But the biggest fear that I had was, and a guilt that came up. I love heart-centered women. Our vibe attracts her like a magnet. Absolutely. The biggest fear that I had was this sort of struggle I had was this guilt around really showing people who I truly am and being in my power and being this spiritual, juicy, loving, powerful diva goddess that I am, and not from an ego point of view, but from a real powerful point of view, not putting a lid on it during that webinar, and also trusting myself to be really generous and to give from my heart and give lots of value without worrying about whether anyone's going to buy from me or any of that. So I did that. And I did have a bit of a wobble. I was a little bit worried. I thought, what's that about? And I thought, oh, that's so much my dad stuff, right? Ingrid, just, stay under the radar, play it safe, keep it small, don't be too much. And the fear that I had there was, I don't want to isolate anyone. If I'm going to shine my light, I want to be inclusive, to say, hey, any light that you see in me is a light in you, and maybe you can be so much more. Perhaps you're so much more talented than me and you have so much more potential, and you know what? That's great, because there's so much room for all of us. So that was that kind of bit of that baggage that I had to release. Was really interesting and kind of bit me on the butt, and I was like, oh, what's that about? So that was my old dad stuff. Anyway, I moved through it, and some other lady from the group said, yeah, action is so important, and it is. It's like, okay, so I feel that whenever I have that sort of resistance coming up, it's like, okay, well, what are the core things that I'm resisting? Bang, 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 okay, showing up this way, doing this video, doing this, doing that. And then I make pacts with myself, and I do give myself timelines, because otherwise I'll never do it, and I'll be sitting here another 5 years later, or talking about it, or feeling quite even worse about it. So I do, from a bit of a more masculine kind of strategic point of view, I know that that I'm a resistance creature. So I set myself timelines and deadlines, and I say, well, not, that's a horrible word, but I do set myself timelines. It's like, Ingrid, okay, by the end of this week, you've got to do this one thing that scares the shit out of you. And then I do it, and I move through it, and I up level. Then it's the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing, and those things become easier and easier and easier and easier. And I become more and more confident. An automatic alchemizing healing happens, because I'm kind of burning through all those fears and using that to drive me forward. Steph, I was having a heart-to-heart with my grandma. You did a fabulous in the webinar. No need to doubt yourself. No, I know that. I absolutely know that now. Now I can do many webinars whenever I want. So it's become easy. So what we fear, and anything that we're finding really challenging at the moment, once we just commit to showing up, doing the work, and moving through it, we master it. It's quite simple idea. But often I've noticed, even within myself, I might not go there. So what I'm trying to do now in my life is I go into it. I hold space for myself, and I go into it, and I do it, and I show up. So right now, you guys might have the opportunity to get on live stream and do a video, right? And it might be something a bit compelling or provocative that's really showing who you truly are. And it will be a little bit scary to begin with. You're going to maybe feel a little bit, you're going to feel excited. You know it's the right thing to do, and there might be a little bit of fear, and it's just like, okay, well, I can hold space for myself in that fear. I'm going to do it anyway, because I know and trust that I will shine my light. I'm just going to be honest and truthful. That is enough. I am safe, I'm protected, and I'm going to do this. And you go forward into it, and before you know it, you won't be able to stop yourself. You'll just keep going and going and going and going and going. Make sure that you get support if you need it too, whether it's from a girlfriend, someone saying like that, I don't know who that is, but a girlfriend, a boyfriend, yourself, accountability buddy, a coach, a healer, whatever you need. Get the support that you need if you're feeling that you're really resisting it, so that someone can hold sacred space for you, literally almost hold your hand. I'm going to do a VIP day at a beautiful hotel in Australia called the Sheraton Mirage on the water. And with that client, she's really talented, but she still hasn't completely shown herself yet. So I said to her, okay, let's do a pitch. Why don't you have a VIP day at the Sheraton Mirage yourself? What's it going to be? What's the offer? So we sort of brainstormed that yesterday. And then on Tuesday, in a couple of days, she just started working with me. She's going to be pitching to 5 women to come and spend this whole beautiful day, and just come up with this amazing idea around self-care and lushness. And she's going to hold this beautiful full day VIP. And so we're going to be shooting it on Tuesday. But I'm going to be there. Hey Ita, how are you, baby? That's her name too, baby. How are you, gorgeous? Did you do your pitch yet? I worked with baby to create a beautiful, high-end, gorgeous offering for a client of hers. It was an absolute joy. So yeah, we're going to be, I'm going to be there with her on the Tuesday. We're going to be doing a 2-hour strategy session. I sold $10,000. Woo! I sold $10,000 for a 3-day retreat. Yay! I'm so happy for you. Oh my God, you're a rock star. I love it. I love it. How do you feel, girlfriend? How do you feel? You're amazing. So Ita and she called me, and she was like, oh my God, I met her. I had a sales call with her. Whatever, a discussion. Oh my God, you're just dancing. I love it. And we, so I said, okay, she wanted to do a strategy session with me, and I fit her, you owned it, Greg. Of course you did. You wouldn't have sold it if you didn't own it. I'm so happy. You are so on fire. Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely, guys. This is all available to you. So when I was working with Ita, which her name is, she's got a Vechinta there, which means with love. It's part Indonesian, part French. And she's an amazing channel, and she's so beautiful. This is the first one, the biggest one to get over. Absolutely, the first one, champagne, yeah. The first one is the biggest one. So we got together. She said, so she paid me the money to work with me the morning of our session. And I was sort of wondering, is she gonna show up? She had some, like, is she gonna pay me? Is she gonna show up? It actually feels easier, exactly. It is much harder to sell a $300 session than it is to sell a $10,000 package. I know that might be a bit triggering and confusing, but it is absolutely the truth. Because when you package, like, you can't just say, I'm gonna just start charging $10,000. You've got to really decide, like, what is the package that you can put together that's really deeply going to get the results for the client? Like, what is going to really change her life? What could I put together with all my tools and all the brilliance and all my things? Like, Ita, like, it's not about the money. Absolutely, it is, exactly. So Ita does channeling, she does massage, she does deep, she does reading, she does facials that are healing, and she's a healer, and she's a channel, and she's a medium, and she does all these things. So we put together this 3 days. We listed everything from Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday morning. She included all these amazing things like juices and tonics, and so rather than her kind of being a little bit scattered around it, you got to stay in your power and what you are offering and what they will get from it. Yes, you've become a great student, darling. Amazing. You've learned everything. So yes, you've got to stay in your power, and you've got to be really, really clear on what the outcomes are. What are you providing? What are they getting at the end of the day? Right? Yeah. Absolutely, Steph. Well, we had a chat about that yesterday. You were talking about your program. You've got to really clearly articulate, like if you're doing a VIP day with a high-end client cooking, but you're also going to be doing deep spiritual guidance work with them, you've got to clearly articulate the value of it. If you can't own the value of it, not so much just the finance, before the money comes, you've got to own the value of the result that you're going to get them, like, and how much energy you hold, and your expertise, and the love, and the depth that you bring to your work. You've got to truly own that. So she's got perfumes, healing foods. You got to know what and how much you're offering to them. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we did that we did that in about 2 hours, didn't we, darling? So we really got really clear and wrote that all out, and we did a bit of sort of healing work, and it was just about, sometimes people come to me and what I find is there's a lot of scattered energy around, can I really do this? And they're not really clear, and they're not really, yes, thinking about the flower essences again. That's beautiful, Stana. You can definitely bring that into your work. You need to make it really lush and juicy. So, you know, bringing in other healers, even, you can. That's what I do. I bring in other healers if I don't want to do all that work. Like when I've sold very high-end retreats one-on-one, I'll have my masseuse friends rock on up. I'll have the kinesiologist that I see. Plus, I do heaps of work with them as well. But in order to really serve them at the best, I don't want to be working 24/7 with them over those days. So I bring in other people as well that may have different talents, complementary talents, that go beyond maybe what I can do. I think it's nice to have flavors. Anyway, that's how I like to work. You've got to be honest with yourself. If you're going to spend 3 days intensively with someone, how can you, I don't want to work in my mental body, so I want to be really powerful and in the zone, so I can't be depleted. That's another reason why I'm shortening my high-end empire sort of launch phase, because I'm going to go and take time at the beach so I can really nourish myself, because I was looking at my calendar going, oh my God, I'm not going to have any space until Christmas time if I keep going at this level. So for me to be able to serve at my highest, I need that time off. I need my team. I need these things in place in order for me to really give. So really be clear about what you really need to give it your highest. But really when it comes to high-end packaging, you've really got to go into a level of deep creativity. Really, really deep creativity. The power is fine-tuning into your own experience and expertise, not just being creative. You've got to know what you're worth. If you want to be high-end, you better know your shit. Absolutely. That's the other thing. You have to, I was talking about that a lot, you really have to have excellence in your work. Sometimes people really they do have excellence, but they still kind of deny it a bit, or they don't really own it. Really think about the transformations that you've provided for clients in the past. Really think about how much you've shifted their lives that you can truly own it. Most people that I attract, thankfully, because I put that message out very clearly, like if you want to work with those people really willing to invest in themselves, you want to work with the 1% of the 1%, the A-list, you need to be A-list. You need to, it has to all be congruent, otherwise your business will implode, people won't come back. There's a level of energy that just isn't there, and so people won't like come knocking on your door. They just won't. You have to honor your word, show up, follow through, and be of the highest integrity. Otherwise, your whole business will implode. I've seen that happen to people before. Sometimes also people are very talented at what they do, but they hold back. They don't really give, you know, you don't have to give your soul. You don't have to do it from a place of exhaustion or overgive. I don't mean that. There are people out there who are kind of like a frugal energy. They don't really show up, and that is not excellence, and that's not really honoring the client. So if you really do give your best, you need to be paid appropriately so that you can take care of yourself. So for me, when I do that work, like I go to acupuncture, I go to massage, I've got a masseuse coming tomorrow to the house. I had one on Monday night. I'm going to acupuncture today. My level of self-care is actually incredibly high. And you need capital for that. So for me to show up and do the work, I have to take care of myself, and there are all these other expenses involved in that. One thing that you forgot, I also sold a separate one for her coaching and her daughters too, each for a $5,000 a month retainer, so that's $20K. Oh my God. Woohoo! Ida, you're so amazing. So yeah, we also during that session, so we mapped out her 3-day offer, and then we did a intensive it was a monthly retainer program offering. So it's based on the same kind of content, but we've repurposed it and repackaged it for a monthly retainer, and we got really, really clear on what they were getting every single month. So each of her daughters, that is seriously incredible, babe. And now the sky's the limit. You have a structure and you have a framework, and you've basically rewired lots of things that you're understanding. You're deeply getting this already, and you will just continue to keep selling these. You're ready to go. It's like you're ready. So with that amount of work that I was able to do with Ita, how much she got a huge return on investment for the minimal amount of money that she spent with me. So that's why you've got to value yourself very well, because you've got to think about the return on investment. You've got to have trust in the goddess Ingrid. Yeah, exactly. I know though, Ida, you had a bit of fear before the money went through, but she made it happen. She got the money sorted and she made it happen, and she trusted me, and she trusted, most importantly, she trusted herself. At the end of the day, you know, people need to believe something about you in order to invest, but they also need to believe that they can actually follow through and hold that frequency. So it's a self-trust and then a trust in, yes, the other person, but I think more deeply probably the self-trust in self, I think. Yeah, guys, that is just incredible, Ita. It's also available, as I said before, to all you guys. High-End Empire. I'm going to close the doors on the 23rd of September. It's $3,500 now if you pay in full, and you get a 45-minute session with me, which you can get so much done in that time because I work like rocket speed. Okay, Ita, you know what it was. I wasn't willing to compromise, and I thought I was willing to lose it. Yeah, that's what I told you, right? So my big secret is, and it's something that I did recently to close a $40,000 pay in full client, is that I did that just this week, is that I'm always prepared to lose the sale. Because if you're not prepared to lose the sale, you will suffocate it. You'll be coming from a position of desperation. And yeah, it's just like, even if you really need to make money, You have to put any fear or scarcity outside the door. And the way that I close sales is I own my power and my voice, and I lay it down on the line. And if I'm channeling something or a divine message comes through, I'm not sitting there thinking, will this potential client like what I'm saying? Will she get triggered? How is she going to be? Will she think I'm a woo-woo crazy head? I just go for it. Because my ideal client, the woman that's really ready to invest in herself, will be like, oh my God, where do I pay you? How do I pay you? When can I start? I've had 2 new, more private clients start. They've said ever since they worked with me, they've had the most fun that they've been having. So I really love that. To me, that's a compliment. Whilst I am very passionate and sort of an intense creature, it's because I believe in you and I want you to get out of your own way and show the fuck up for yourself. So I'm really full on in that level, but I'm also deeply loving and compassionate and honoring. And what are you saying? Sorry. Yeah, you have to leave the desperation and fear and self doubt at the door. Otherwise, the client sniffs it and feels it, and you won't really be true to them. Like, because when you have all that fear there or scarcity, you're actually making it about yourself, and it's like you're tippy-toeing around, and then they don't actually feel deeply nourished or protected by you or held by you. So, anyway, that's my perspective. When I really give the most, when I've been able to, and my sales started really tripling, quadrupling, and igniting that kind of new business, it came from when I began to really honor my intuitive knowledge, the downloads I would get, and then I would feed that to the client. And that's when people started to really, I think, invest more heavily in me. So it was more, or strongly in me. I'm thinking of the wrong words because I'm so tired. But yeah, it was really when I began to claim that and not hold back at all, worrying whether the client's going to buy from me or not. Even today, I had to follow up on a couple of clients, and one woman really wanted to work with me. She had a lot of fear come up, and then she is a channel, and she turned around today and she messaged me, and her response was, I connected with my channel and my guides or whatever, and they said that all this stuff about that I might be too busy, or that I wasn't this or that, that she should maybe work with me down the line or whatever. And I sat with it for a minute, and I was like, and I told her, I just said, this does not feel right to me. I think this is complete and utter BS, and you are completely running away and resisting. I'm totally great. I'm a bit tired. I'm about to go to the beach. I'm a very happy person. It's all good. Maybe you're picking up on something that I'm not seeing. You know, if that's really what you feel, but it's not resonating with me. I think that this is complete and utter, like that you're just kidding yourself. So she's going to either hate me for saying that, or really be triggered by me, or she could be triggered by me, and then she could say, yeah, Ingrid, I actually, and I know that woman. I did a healing session on her. I know exactly what her story is and what's going on. And I channel too, and I read energy too, and I call bullshit on it. So that woman is either going to never want to work with me, or she's going to value that I was honest enough and called her on her bullshit. Because I sat with myself, I said, is this woman tapping on something that I'm not? So I checked in to make sure it wasn't my ego. Like, and then I'm like, no, this is completely and utter self-sabotage, and I'm not taking this on, and I'm going to, the best way that I could possibly serve this woman is I told her she's amazing, I'm sending her love, I respect her choice, but this is completely not, like, this is BS. So we'll see what she does. Really, at the end of the day, I'm forging forward. I'm going forward, selling more programs, courses. My life goes on. I'm not gonna, after today or after this conversation, mentioning her as an example, I won't be thinking about her. I also see a lot of people get swayed by that. If they don't make a sale, they can tend to really judge themselves and go into this lack kind of vibration. You don't want to do that. You want to keep your eye on the prize and think about all the hundreds of women and amazing clients that are there to pay you the big bucks that you need to serve and show up for. So if you stay in the doubt, oh my God, did I do something wrong? Or why didn't that person invest with me? And you go into any kind of self-beration or kind of inner bullying about what you may not have done, or that you something that you didn't do right, and you make it about yourself, you actually shift your vibration into that lack zone, and you won't be doing what you need to be doing. So just, some people are going to be a yes and some people are going to be a no, and you could be the best salesperson or hold the most sacred space and be really giving and be really just so on it. And if they're not ready, if they're not really ready to do that soul work, they won't buy from you, and that's okay. Just let it go. Send them love, cut the cord, and keep your eye on the prize and keep showing up every single day. I had a client start working with me, and a client, she did a sales call with someone. They said that they were about to pay her their money. They didn't make the payment, and she started to go into this, oh, she hasn't made the payment, and so we traced it back to some old family patterning where parents would never honor their word. It was a bit of her little girl kind of hurt, wounded self coming up, and it was showing up in her sales. So I said, let's rectify this. We did a bit of a healing, and then I said, let's go out on video. I want you to go and start sharing a message and go and have fun. I gave her a task to reach out to that client in a really loving way and to say, I cannot wait to work with you. I'm so excited. If there's anything coming up for you or any resistance, please let me know. I'm here for you to talk about it. But otherwise, I can't wait to start working with you, and we'll take it from there. And then she got on live stream and just started putting her energy into serving all those other women that are there waiting for her to show up. And then as she was on the live stream, the money came in. And that client made the payment. So whenever you're feeling yourself going into that lack or that constriction, do something to counteract it. And usually it's to get an action and to show up and serve. If that makes sense. Hey, Caitlin. Hey, Amanda. Caitlin's another amazing client of mine. She's amazing, amazing, amazing. Caitlin has a great program called Freedom Goddess. She's got a new one that we're creating called Sensuality that we're creating. She came up with that word, which I love, sensuality. It's beautiful. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a high-end group program. And yeah, so guys, I'm going to go and have a chill. I've got one more meeting with another amazing client today who's doing incredible things as well. Hey Judy, I'm still waiting to hear back from you, girlfriend. Are you going to join me either in High-End Empire or CEO Diva? I can't wait for you to make a decision. I don't really care if people want to work with me or not. I don't like it when people don't make a decision. Make a decision. When you make a decision, whether it's yes or no, you make a decision and you own that decision. Oh my God, you liberate yourself. When you stay in stuckness, going, should I work with this woman? Shouldn't I work with this woman? Should I do this call? You just stay in this kind of, it's an energy drain. I did an analogy. It's like, leaky gut syndrome. It's the same with energy. It's like your energy of your body and your whole cellular juju-ness. And when you don't make a decision, it's like literally sticking holes in your energetic system, and all the energy just pours out. Make a decision. Make a decision to love yourself. Make a decision to show up. Make a decision to move ahead despite being shit scared. Make a decision to work with a coach. Make a decision to work with a healer. Make a decision and own it. Put your feet on the ground and own it. Get grounded. Own your decisions. Okay, guys, I'm gonna love and leave you, and I'm sending you heaps of prayers. You're all incredible. When you're ready to really own it and you're ready to really work with a diva like me, come call me. I'm here for ya. But don't come to me if you're not ready to own it, because I'm not for you, okay? Sending you lots of blessings. Bye.